a very difficult time, and there's circumstances around my divorce that are difficult to talk about.
Days after she got a restraining order claiming he gave her this black eye and this bruise.
Together, guys, right here.
Denise's estranged husband, Aaron, is reportedly leveling new accusations against her.
I didn't want this fight.
Yeah, you did. You needed it to get off of all the other going on in your life.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely. That's what you do. You deflect.
From Hollywood starlet to tabloid train wreck, Denise Richards' story is one of fame, betrayal, scandal, and heartbreak.
I did whatever I could to hide Charlie's behavior. How do you tell kids what's really going on? I would say Dad had to go to work, but he loves you so much. He wants to be here for you, girl.
She was America's bombshell, Charlie Sheen's wife, a real housewife of Beverly Hills. But behind the diamonds and cameras was a life spiraling into chaos.
I mean, put his hand around my mouth, grabbed my started dragging me. It's so scary to have that situation, you know, in that age and to be so vulnerable.
This is the tragic downfall of Denise Richards. Long before Denise Richards was screaming at reunions or battling her ex in court, she was Hollywood's golden girl. Her big break came in 1997 with Starship Troopers, a cheesy, over-the-top sci-fi film that became a cult classic. Audiences couldn't take their eyes off her. Then came Wild Things, a role that turned her into a sex symbol almost overnight. The pool scene, the tabloid headlines, the posters on teenage boys' walls, Denise was everywhere. In 1999, she officially joined the Hollywood elite when she became a Bond girl in The World Is Not Enough. Suddenly, Denise wasn't just a rising star, she was the face of global glamour. Magazine covers, red carpets, designer gowns, she had it all. Her image was carefully crafted, the perfect mix of sexy and sweet, approachable yet untouchable. Hollywood branded her as the girl next door with movie star looks, and for a while, it worked. But behind the diamonds and the champagne glasses, pressure was building. The roles were typecasting her, the tabloids were circling, and the same fame that had built her career would soon start tearing it down. Because in Hollywood, nothing stays perfect forever. And for Denise Richards, the cracks were already forming. In 2002, Denise Richards made a move that would change her life forever. She married Charlie Sheen, the bad boy of Hollywood, a man known as much for his wild nights as for his box office hits. On paper, they looked like a power couple. She was the glamorous actress, he was the reformed bad boy trying to settle down. The wedding was a Hollywood fairy tale, the photos plastered across magazines. For a brief moment, it seemed Denise had it all, the career, the husband, and soon a family. The couple welcomed 2 daughters, Sam and Lola. The image was picture perfect, a happy family living the American dream. But the reality behind closed doors was much darker. By 2005, Denise shocked Hollywood when she filed for divorce. The twist? She was 6 months pregnant with their second child. The fairy tale marriage had exploded into a scandal, and the court filings that followed painted a chilling picture. Denise accused Charlie of violent outbursts, drug use, and even threats against her life. She claimed he was obsessed with porn, prostitutes, and control. Suddenly, the bad boy image the public had once laughed off was being dragged into the courtroom. And this time, it wasn't funny. Charlie, of course, denied everything. What followed was one of the ugliest divorces in Hollywood history. Custody battles, restraining orders, and leaked court documents turned Denise and Charlie's split into tabloid gold. But here's the twist. Despite the accusations, despite the court records, it wasn't Charlie's reputation that collapsed. It was Denise's. The media painted her as the villain, the bitter ex-wife, the gold digger, the woman trying to take down Hollywood's favorite bad boy. Charlie's career carried on, fueled by sitcom paychecks and his rock star image. Denise, on the other hand, was branded as difficult, unstable, and opportunistic. This wasn't a divorce, it was a war. And in the public eye, Denise Richards was losing. After the divorce from Charlie Sheen, Denise Richards wasn't just single, she was a target. The tabloids branded her Hollywood's newest villain. When she began dating Richie Sambora, her neighbor, and the ex-husband of Heather Locklear, who had once been her close friend, the media went nuclear. Overnight, Denise wasn't a victim anymore, she was the homewrecker, the woman who betrayed her friend for a man. every move she made was magnified. Custody battles with Charlie played out in the press, with court documents spilling ugly details. Texts leaked where Denise allegedly told Charlie to rot in hell. Headlines called her crazy, manipulative, a gold digger. Paparazzi hounded her daily, catching every school run, every grocery trip, and turning it into scandal. Her career began to stall. The glamorous film roles were gone. Casting directors didn't want the baggage of tabloid chaos. So, Denise tried to take control of her narrative. She launched a reality show on E! Called It's Complicated. The title said it all. Cameras followed her as she raised her daughters, navigated the Sheen drama, and tried to show the world that she was more than the headlines. But instead of rebuilding her image, the show made things worse. Viewers weren't convinced. Some sympathized, but many thought she was just chasing fame, dragging her kids into the spotlight to stay relevant. By 2010, the woman who once graced Bond premieres and magazine covers was reduced to small TV guest spots, reality experiments, and endless negative press. Denise Richards wasn't Hollywood's golden girl anymore, she was tabloid fodder, and the public loved tearing her apart. By the 2010s, Denise Richards had learned how to survive. With her acting career slipping, she focused on her daughters, raising Sam and Lola mostly on her own, while Charlie Sheen spiraled deeper into drugs, arrests, and chaos. In a shocking twist, Denise even stepped in to care for Charlie's twin sons with Brooke Muller when Brooke was in rehab. For a while, she had 4 children under her roof, trying to give them stability while their parents imploded. The public saw a softer side, Denise as a devoted, protective mother. It was a rare moment of redemption. But Charlie wasn't finished dragging her into the mud. In 2014, he went on a public rant, blasting Denise on Twitter on Father's Day, calling her a terrible mother and a liar. The accusations were ugly, and even though fans largely sided with Denise, the damage was done. Once again, she was forced to defend herself in the court of public opinion. The battles continued in courtrooms too. Denise accused Charlie of evicting her and their daughters from a home he had promised them. Lawsuits over child support payments stretched on for years, with Denise insisting Charlie had abandoned his responsibilities while he claimed she was demanding too much. Through it all, Denise kept working. Small TV roles, cameos, and even soap operas. But it was clear she wasn't the movie star she once was. Hollywood had moved on. For years, Denise lived in survival mode, raising kids, battling her ex, scraping together work, and fighting to protect her family's privacy. But even when she tried to rebuild, Sheen's shadow loomed large. Every step forward came with 2 steps back. The woman once known for red carpets and premieres was now known for custody battles and courtrooms. Denise was surviving, but barely. In 2018, Bravo threw Denise Richards a lifeline. She joined the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for season 9, and fans were intrigued. The glamorous movie star among Beverly Hills socialites, it was perfect casting. At first, Denise was refreshing. She wasn't afraid to show up in jeans while the others wore couture. She joked about her sex life, kept it real, and gave viewers a break from the endless glam squads. Fans loved her honesty. For a moment, it looked like Denise Richards had finally found her comeback, but season 10 changed everything. It started at a simple backyard barbecue. A few innocent comments turned into chaos when castmates accused Denise and her husband Aaron of having a more open marriage than they admitted. Denise denied it, but the whispers kept growing. Then, Brandi Glanville dropped a bombshell. She claimed she had an affair with Denise, and that Aaron knew. Denise denied it all, saying Brandi was lying to stay relevant. But the cast pounced. Suddenly, every dinner, every trip, every event turned into an ambush. Kyle, Erica, Teddy, all of them demanded answers. The most brutal betrayal came from Lisa Rinna, Denise's friend of over 20 years. On camera, Rinna confronted her. "You lie, lie, lie." It was a knife in the back, and Denise was left sobbing, furious, and cornered. Desperate to defend herself, Denise even brought lawyers into the mix, sending cease and desist letters and refusing to film certain scenes. But that only made things worse. The more she resisted, the more the others smelled blood. By the reunion, Denise was visibly breaking down. She denied the affair again and again, but no one believed her. Bravo edited her like the villain, the liar caught in her own mess. Fans were divided. Some said Denise was bullied and betrayed by women who turned on her when she was vulnerable. Others said she was a hypocrite, trying to hide her secrets while judging everyone else. In the end, Denise quit after just 2 seasons. What was supposed to be her triumphant return to fame ended in humiliation. The Real Housewives had chewed her up and spit her out. Denise Richards wasn't the glamorous star anymore. She was the punchline, again. After the chaos of Sheen, Denise Richards thought she had finally found peace. In 2017, she began dating Phypers, a handsome healer with a mysterious past. The romance moved fast. Too fast. Within months, Denise filed for divorce from Charlie, and just 48 hours after the papers were finalized, she married Aaron. It was a whirlwind love story, one the press painted as Denise finally getting her happy ending. On The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Denise showed off her new husband as proof she'd moved on. But even then, the red flags were flashing. At one dinner party, Aaron looked across the table at the women and said he could crush their hands if he wanted. The comment was meant as a joke, but it sent chills through fans. His bizarre rants about cancer cures, secret energy work, and shadowy government agencies only made him look stranger. Behind the scenes, rumors swirled. Friends whispered about Aaron's temper. Some said he was controlling. Others said he isolated Denise from her castmates, encouraging her to walk away whenever conflicts flared. Viewers noticed how often he inserted himself into the Housewives drama, defending Denise in ways that felt less protective and more intimidating. For years, Denise brushed it off. She posted smiling family photos, insisted she was happy, and tried to drown out the whispers. But in early 2025, the truth shattered the facade. Court documents revealed that Denise had filed for divorce from Phypers and obtained a restraining order. The accusations were horrifying. She claimed Aaron had choked her during an argument, slammed her head against a wall, and threatened to kill her if she ever tried to leave. Photos of bruises leaked to the press, and suddenly, Denise was no longer the glamorous housewife or the fun tabloid story. She was a woman in fear for her life. Aaron denied the allegations, calling them exaggerated and false. But the damage was done. For the first time in years, the public rallied behind Denise. After decades of scandals, betrayals, and humiliation, she was once again cast as the tragic victim of toxic men. The Hollywood golden girl who married Sheen survived his chaos and tried to rebuild with Aaron, only to be left bruised, broken, and filing for freedom in a courtroom.
Uh-oh, drama in Beverly Hills. Denise Richards' husband, Aaron, has filed for divorce. According to TMZ, Aaron filed for divorce on Monday in Los Angeles for irreconcilable differences, with the date of the separation being on July 4th. The couple had no children together, and according to documents, Aaron is seeking spousal support from Denise. He estimates she's making over $250K a month from OnlyFans, TV, brand deals, and appearances, and he says that he has no income. He estimates that on average they spend about $105,000 a month, including $20K on clothes, $18K on rent, $15K on eating out, $15K on entertainment, $10K on groceries, and $8K on utility, and he says Denise has been footing the bill. Aaron also wants the court to confirm some property he says belongs to him, namely power tools, a Dark Horse motorcycle, and a Ford Shelby. So he's making no money, and he wants to leave her and take half her money? I feel bad. I mean, it's sad when a marriage ends. I feel like they were really supportive. We saw them on the Beverly Hills Housewives together for a while. And I feel bad that he's leaving her and wants all her money. She's been paying for everything.
It was the latest, and perhaps the darkest, chapter in Denise Richards' long downfall.
Denise Richards and Phypers are getting a divorce. Court documents were obtained by TMZ, where Aaron filed citing irreconcilable differences, and the date of separation was July 4th. So this is all happening very quickly. Aaron is also seeking spousal support from Denise. We saw Denise marry Aaron on an episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after she exited that show, took some time off. But he also was very involved in her latest show, the spinoff, Denise Richards and Her Wild Things. That's a new show. It's only been going on for one season, but in season 1, we did see an anniversary dinner that Aaron and Denise had, where Denise is talking about her relationship with Aaron in comparison to her relationship with Sheen, and she said, Aaron and I love and respect each other, which is not what I had in my past. So this announcement does kind of catch me by surprise, although I feel like the longer I get into this career and watch couples on TV, the more I'm not surprised at these type of announcements because, you know, you don't see what goes on behind closed doors. But nothing seemed too off. I mean, Denise and her family in general are a little bit quirky, very dramatic. If you follow the girls, you know they're always fighting with each other. But what do you think about this?
By 2025, the story of Denise Richards was no longer about Hollywood glamour. It was about survival. She had once been the golden girl of the late 90s. A Bond girl, a star of Wild Things, the sexy girl next door who had the world at her feet. But that image was long gone. In its place was a woman who had endured 2 failed marriages, endless custody battles, public betrayals, and now shocking allegations of abuse. Her career had dwindled into scraps, a few soap opera cameos, occasional Bravo appearances, and even an OnlyFans account that grabbed headlines more for the desperation behind it than the empowerment she claimed. Fans didn't see a glamorous actress anymore. They saw a tragic figure who never escaped the chaos. The woman who once embodied Hollywood beauty had become a cautionary tale about what happens when fame and toxic men collide. From Charlie Sheen's betrayal to Aaron Phypers' alleged violence, Denise's life had been defined by the men she loved and the pain they left behind.
This has been a very, very, very difficult time. It's so hard to go through a divorce. Many of you have gone through that. This isn't my first one, it's my second one. And I never thought I'd get divorced again. This is why I always say never say never. But I really just wanted to say thank you so much for all of your supportive, kind, thoughtful, encouraging messages, because this has been a very difficult time, and there's circumstances around my divorce that are difficult to talk about. Which one day I will talk about it when the time is right. I just want to process everything and get through this. I know, Lily. We're talking to everyone on Instagram.
In the end, Denise Richards was no longer America's sweetheart. She was the woman who lost it all in front of the cameras. From Bond girl to Bravo scandal, Denise Richards' life has been one long downfall. She was once the glamorous actress who had it all: the looks, the fame, the husband, the family. But behind the red carpets and the diamonds was a story of betrayal, abuse, and heartbreak that played out for the world to see.
I went through so much with my divorce from Charlie that it affected my career. And I had a hard time actually getting a job because people perceived me as someone that was trying to take down Charlie Sheen, who was on this big show, and it was the network and studio, and it was a different time.
He was all over the place during that time.
Yeah, and it was hard. So I also had 2 daughters. I didn't have Eloise at the time, and I had to work.
So what'd you do? You
I did my reality show.
And then
And then it changed. Then I was able to get back to working as an actress again, because I just had to be myself on that show, because there was so much written in the tabloids about me that was so negative. And I wasn't one that, if you say stuff, it creates another story. So sometimes it's better to just be quiet and let that story go away. But there were so many stories that it was really difficult when I was going through my divorce.
Was Denise Richards the victim of Hollywood and toxic men? Or was she the architect of her own chaos? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more shocking celebrity downfalls.